Assalamu alaikum. In this video, I'll be explaining inserting images into ImageViews, adding buttons with functions, onClick function using methods. We'll be also practicing intents to navigate between different activities in the app. I will start by creating a new project. Be sure that you choose the oldest possible version that is available. So just to ensure that what we are practicing is going to work, and we are going to support legacy code. And I'll name my project as practice, for example, 5, and finish. Make sure to close any other projects that are opened unless you need them. For me, I don't need them. I have one that is already open, so I'm going to terminate it and close it. So the first thing we are going to start with is we'll go to the design view, and we are going to add some elements. I will start by changing the layout. Instead of constraint layout, I'll put it as linear layout. Okay, and I don't need the text view. I'm going to delete it. Let me try to run the app now, see what happens, see what we have. If I run it and it is empty, I will be getting an empty space. There's nothing, and on top I have practice 5. This is the name of the project that I have selected for my project, but I can change that. I can go to the manifest, I can go to the Android manifest. Let me minimize the emulator. And if I scroll down here, I'll see that currently I only have one activity, and I can give it a different title than the whole app. So I'll add a label, and I will call it first activity. Run it again, see what we get, and terminate. Here it is. So first activity has been added to the title of the action bar in the first activity. Now we can start adding our elements in the activity main. I will start by adding a button. I will put it here, and I will need an image view, and I will drop it here. I can select anything from here, or I can simply choose a different picture. Like here I have one picture I'd like to use, so I'm going to copy it from here. Copy and paste it inside the drawable folder. Paste. And okay. I will try to add it now by dragging and dropping. It's asking me what is the picture you're looking for. Here's my picture, and okay. They have been put side by side because I need to change the orientation of my layout to vertical, and let me drop them to the center by changing the gravity to center. Okay, and this is my button, has been added here. And now I'm going to be creating a function or a method to show or hide that image. Now by default the image has been displayed, so if the image is visible, the button should say hide, hide image. So the text is going to be hide image. And I'll go here now to the code of the button. I'll just make sure that I have given them unique IDs. Like this button is going to be called button. I'll call it button toggle because it's going to toggle showing the image. And I will add the onClick method to show the image. Of course, show and hide, show or hide. Now we go to the Java file, and I will start adding the items that I'll be needing to deal with. And it's going to be the image view, actually, image view. Just under the class, I will call an image view type, and I will set it as private, and I'll call it image. Okay, image 1. And I'm going to add it under the onCreate, just the same name of the image. It is going to be added a value in this place, equals, and don't forget to do the casting just in case, image view, and find by ID. It is in the resources with the ID of image view 2. That's it. We have added the image. And also I'll be dealing with the button. So private and button, I will call it button toggle as well. And we'll be adding the value in here. So button toggle equals button find by ID, and here it is. This is it, everybody. Now all that we need to do is to write our method. Our method is called show image. I will start by creating a public void show image, and we are coming from view, so I will just add the view. We need to import the view. Now all that we need to do is to check, is the image currently visible, or if it is not visible. If it is not visible, we are going to show it. If it is shown, we are going to hide it. An if statement, if image 1 get the visibility. I'm trying to check the visibility, not to set the visibility, so I'm going to get. I'm trying to check if it is visible. Oh, sorry. I'm going to check if it is visible. And in case if it is visible, we are going to hide it. How to hide it? We will call image 1. Now this time we are going to set the visibility. We are going to set it to view.invisible. Yeah, it should be invisible. And in addition to that, we would like to change the text on the button. So button toggle, we are going to set the text to, if it's going to be hidden, then we are going to type in or show the show image. And now in the else, we are going to do the exact opposite of this. Copy and paste. We are going to make it visible, and we are going to display hide image. Let's give it a test and see how things go by running our app. And this is the image, and here's my button. Currently the image is there and the button says hide image. If I click, the image disappears. If I click again, the image is shown. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Now let's do something else. We are going to create a new activity, and this activity we are going to navigate to it using something we call the intents. I will hide the emulator. I'm going to be adding a new activity and empty activity. This is going to be called the second activity. And yes, create the layout file and finish. Here's my second activity. I will go to the Android manifest. I would like to give it a different title. Now this is my second activity that we have just created. I will add a label so that I change the title of that page. I will call it second activity so that we can just differentiate between them. And now I don't need the manifest. I'll just close it to save some space in my screen. So I will go to activity second, or the main activity, the first activity. And I will add another button, but this time on the top. This button is going to take me to that activity. I will drag a new button and drop it in this little place over here. We change the text to go to activity 2. This is it. And currently this activity is not assigned to any method. I will go to the main activity and I'm going to start writing the method that is going to take me to activity number 2, to the second page. Public void, I will call my method go activity 2, for instance, and view. Now we are going to use something we call the intents, and the intents is like a vehicle. It's going to take me to places. It's going to take me to a different activity. I can carry information with me. We will see this later. I will create a new intent. I will call it intent number 1. Alt and enter to import new intent. The scope in which this intent is going to work on is this application. Where is it going to take me? It is going to take me to the second activity. Don't forget to tell the app that this is a class. And now we give the command for this activity to work. So we are going to start activity. And ladies and gentlemen, be careful not to choose the activities. It must be activity. And I will pass the intent that I have just created. Now this is a method that I have created, but still I did not assign the job of calling this method to any button. I'll go to my activity main, and this is the button I am working with. I'll go to the code, and I would like to work with this. So onClick, and this is the method that I have just created. It is going to take me to activity number 2. Now when we click this button, and just to differentiate again, let me call this button go activity 2. When we click on this button, it's going to call this method, and this method is available on this place on the Java file, and it is going to create an intent. This intent works on this app, and it's going to take me to the second activity, and we are asking it to start. We check, we see how things work, run, and terminate because it was already running. So this button is already working. Let me try the above button. We click here, and wonderful, it takes me to the second activity. Now let's do the opposite. In the second activity, I'm going to be adding a button, and this button is going to take me back to the first activity, to the main activity. I think this is supposed to be easy now. I'll go to the second activity. This is constrained layout. I don't have anything else to be added except the button, so let me take the button and I will drop it here. I change the text of that button. I will call it back, for example, to first activity, back to main activity. Yeah. So the first thing that comes to mind is we go to the code, to the button. Yeah, we need to change the layout, I guess. You know what? Let's linear layout design. So here is my button. I will drop it and put it into the center. And the orientation should be vertical design. Okay, wonderful. So it is here in the center of the page. Now what we have done already is just creating the button. We didn't do anything else. And now we'll go to the code of the XML file for my button. Again, to differentiate, I'll call it button go activity 1. And we will add the method that still doesn't exist, onClick, and we'd say go to activity number 1, which is currently doesn't exist, but we are going to add it soon. We go to the second activity, and now all that I need to deal with is the button. I'll create a public void method. I'll call it show. What did I call it there? Yeah, go activity 1. I'll take that name. Go activity 1. We are coming from a view. Alt and enter. And we are going to create an intent, a chance to practice again what we have done before. Intent, and I'll call this one intent number 2, and intent number 2 is supposed to work within this app, and in addition to that, forgot to add the intent, and it is supposed to take me to the main activity. We don't forget to add the keyword class, and now we are going to start this activity, and it should work with intent number 2. Let's try our app, see how things go. Our main activity, first activity, this button is still working. We click here, go to activity number 2. Nice, we are in the second activity. I click here, it takes me back to the first activity. That's wonderful. I hope that these principles are now clear and easy for you to practice. Make sure that you continue to practice the codes we are learning. Thank you so much for watching.